I'm back at it. Guys, I didn't have this problem on the other side. That was part of the reason that I made this video, is to show that these pins, at least on the other side, were so flattened out that they just slid out. And I didn't think that was a really good idea at all. So anyway, after a couple of trials, I figured it out. To get the pin through, you simply have to start tapping it with a punch. And when you get to the edge that the clip is holding you back, you just kind of drive it in a little bit, and then the whole thing goes. Should be no problem at all. And as it shows, it is going through A-okay. And we'll get it on the other side as well. Bring it down a little bit on this other side. Tap it in. And kind of at the same time, with an angle, just get that thing going until you get it in there. Start driving it through. I tell you, it's not all fun and games. There we go. We got them both going in there. All right, good. All right, like I said, on the other side, this thing just was not. It was just so out of shape that I wasn't comfortable putting it together without putting new pins in. So anyway, of course, on this side, the thing's putting up a little bit of a fight, but got it driven through, and I'll be doing the same thing underneath where the other pin is down here. So there you go, a little finesse. I did see a video where a guy used a pair of pliers to hold it together and then drove it through, but I don't have three hands and my handy dandy assistant wasn't available. So there you go. Probably a little more care would be taken if you were not going to replace the pins, if you were just going to use the old ones, but in this case I am, so if I flatten them down a little bit, no problem. Give you a little close-up of what all this fuss was about, and I don't know if I'm recording good here. Let me see if I can hold this over here and show this, but there's a little catch right here. That was the part that was giving me the most difficulty. So anyway, we got them driven through past that little catch point. Hopefully you can still see it. Then I'm going to take my round point, use my dead blow hammer, and drive this bad boy through here. At least another attempt. There we go. And it's going through nicely. Get both those pins through. A little bit on each side until we get it to go through. Looking good. Boy, this side is much tighter than the previous side. Like I say, don't get the punch jammed in there. Just kind of work each side. It's one piece, but if you go straight down the middle, I guarantee you'll get the thing stuck. So just drive it through both sides. This time I'm using the dead blow hammer, which works very well. The third choice, and probably a lot of guys' first choice, is a ball peen hammer. They work well. I'm not super comfortable with them, but as a point I want to make, don't use the back of a screwdriver as a hammer. Man, nothing worse than beating up a nice set of screwdrivers because you're too lazy to get a hammer. And again, the one I like the most is a carpenter's hammer, but I just like the way it feels and the weight. Comfortable with it. And before I drive this out completely, I'm going to hang my tie wire so that we're not hanging all of the weight of the caliper from the brake line. Just drive them through to the point where the pin is almost all the way out and you haven't got your punch stuck. There we go. We're just about to that point now. Both on the top one and on the bottom one. Doing good. So far, so good. Take a pair of handy dandy pliers and pull the pin the rest of the way. At least try. There it goes. Good. See? Out. The old one, which is much better than the one on the left-hand side of the vehicle. Throw that in the box. We'll come down low here We'll work this other pin out. Oh, that one went really, really easy. Here we go. That one's out. See? Okay, good. We're just about ready to release the brake caliper from the rotor. And as I recall, on the other side, you just tap it out. Yeah, here she comes, nice and gentle. Anything with this brake stuff, you don't want to force it. It should go reasonable as far as the amount of effort is concerned. If you're forcing it, then it's probably not going together or coming apart properly. So keep tapping it until we get it freed up. Should be just about there. There we go, a little bit on the top too, I guess. Okay, guys. There she comes. Okay, it's off of there. Beautiful. There we go. Okay. See, we don't want to support the weight of this on the brake line itself. So we take the tie wire and help support the weight of this thing. I'm going to be very careful with the brake pads because I'm going to reuse them. I don't want to goof them up. And let's see, this one like so. Back to our cardboard box. And this one. Not too bad. Alright. This is to the inside where the pistons are. Let me remember that, and this is to the outside. Okay. Inside where the pistons are. Okay. Obviously, and kind of new with this YouTube thing, it's a little distracting to try to talk and do this work when normally you just do it and you're not trying to explain what's going on. But anyway, in the meantime, let's get this tie wire. Get the rotor. The caliper hung up over here. Make an attempt to get in here to hang it. There we go. Good. Just so we're not hanging all that weight on the brake line. Not good at all. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. It's out of the way. Piston rubber and everything looks good. A little look at the rotor. Looks good. It's not cracked, no big burrs. Turning freely, no noise. Looks good. We'll check the back side. Looks reasonable. And then we're gonna clean up where the caliper rides. Looks pretty good. Next thing we're going to do, reassemble the brake assembly with brake quiet. And we'll turn the camera off for a moment and come back to that in just a half sec. Hang on, y'all.